Boria, 1 second. Boria, 1 second. 1 second, please. 1 second, please, gentlemen. Ranjeet Kumar, Supreme Court said to you, you were standing in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said to you, gentlemen's game should not be tainted. The BCCI should drop the lackadaisical attitude. What is the meaning of the word lackadaisical?
I agreed with that.
No, why is the Supreme Court saying it?
That you are not... The Supreme Court felt that what is required to be done, enough is not being done, and it should be done with right earnest. So therefore, I agreed to immediately with the court, and I said immediately
Arnab, can I please say something?
Okay, counter.
The investigation is over.
Counter from Rahul Mehra. Rahul.
Can I ask my 2 questions?
Boria, 1 second. Rahul Mehra.
Arnab, the issue is very simple. Who on planet Earth and especially in India will believe this theory that Ravi Vasani, who is a head of ACU, which is a lame duck in any case, which has not investigated into anything over the last 13 years, has not brought out any single issue of match fixing or spot fixing and unearthed anything. It is by coincidence of Delhi police, who is appointed by N. Srinivasan, the king of conflict of interest, will actually do justice to the investigation. Self-regulation is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
I mean, please do not. You might, Mr. Ranjeet Kumar, with due respect, you might be the lawyer, but kindly wear the hat of a citizen.
Well said.
For a change, let's talk as citizens. And what is good for the country. And let's talk about...
I'm sorry. No, Rahul. You are absolutely wrong. Pardon my saying so. Why do you think that Srinivasan runs the board? Because he is the president. Therefore, everybody else who is on the board is a lame duck and who will...
I don't think so. The world thinks so.
What Srinivasan said?
Oh, so
don't say that. Please don't say that.
No, please. This is the classic...
The president is not...
I will tell you.
Classic strategy.
It is a
classic...
Ranjeet Kumar, in the Yashwant Sinha Parliamentary Committee...
You are wrong in saying.
Mr. Ranjeet Kumar, in the Yashwant Sinha Parliamentary Standing Committee, it was Srinivasan who defended the board.
Our first caller...
And Srinivasan who apologized before Yashwant Sinha. That where the allegations were that entire IPL is a sleaze.
So one second.
IPL is a den of illegal activity.
So 1 minute. Somnath Modi is our first caller. 1 minute. Newshour viewer Somnath Modi is one of our first callers on the Newshour program tonight. And the question goes to Aslam Ghoni. Are you listening? Aslam Ghoni, Somnath Modi is answering your question from Kolkata. Aslam Ghoni says it is time to be silent. Somnath, good evening. What do you think? Mr. Modi?
Yes.
What do you think? Is it time for the BCCI to be silent?
Obviously, only thieves get silent when they don't have any thing to say. And as a matter of fact, everyone is involved. And it is not about 3 rotten eggs. Most of them are involved, and betting thing goes out, it's very rampant everywhere.
Okay. Somnath Modi, that's our first call. I'm going to take a few more calls. Boria has a few questions. Boria.
Can I please? 2 questions, Mr. Ghoni. Question number 1. Your legal points were perfectly fine. I concede all of the points. But Mr. Srinivasan in his press conference 20 times said cricket is a gentleman's game. What is implied? Implied are 2 words, propriety and morality.
Yeah.
Using the index of morality, taking cue from Mr. Ranjeet Kumar, tell me, using the cue of morality as BCCI president, does he not owe us, you and me, the cricket fan of this country?
Let him answer that, Boria. I'm running short of time. Let him answer that question 2 and 3 later. Aslam Ghoni, quickly. You're in a minority of 1, Mr. Ghoni, tonight on the program.
No, I am not in minority. You are with me. I know it.
No, I'm not. Certainly not. Thank you. Yeah.
See, I tell you, I agree with my firm what he is saying. You see, morality and legality, these are 2 things always understood as differently. Morality is different, legality is different. But once you put a thing to the legal recourse, then legality has to prevail. Then you have to wait. Then you have to wait. Then you have to see what is the outcome ultimately. Then you have to now. I said, please, my friend, I have never been interrupting you. Please don't be so impatient. Don't be so impatient. I have never been interrupting you. Now listen to me, please. Carefully listen to me. if ultimately I, as a citizen of this country, am fully satisfied with the way investigation is going on, because the way the threats are being picked up, no one is being spared.
Really? Really? And you're doing the investigation? Really? Really? Really?
Whosoever comes, whosoever big a head it must be.
Yeah, really?
If it rolls, I got no problem.
Really?
But you're
happy?
here sitting, we cannot decide. We cannot jump to the conclusion, as Mr. Ranjeet Kumar very clearly at the outset said, that we
second caller on the Newshour, Hemant is calling in from Mumbai. Second viewer, Hemant is calling in from Mumbai.
Some flying idea coming to your mind, and you trying to put it into in a manner that this should be the decisive thing about the whole thing. That I am sorry, with folded hands I request all of you, please desist from that. Yes, in case the investigation goes wrong, in case you feel your worries are found correct, ultimately that this investigating agency is not dealing properly, there is always
today, Mr. Ghoni, cricket bosses like you are totally cornered. Every time for years you kept patronizing people. For years you took people for granted. For years you questioned journalists. For years you ran down. For years you ran down the evidence. For years.
Those people who have fixed it.
For years. That's not even the question. That's not even the question. Hemant is calling in from Mumbai. Hemant, what do you think? Is it time for the BCCI to remain silent?
Well, I think pertaining to this particular investigation and the reports that are coming in on Times Now, I must congratulate you and your team first. As regards this particular question, very specific question, I would like to reply that as a head of the BCCI as an institution, whether it is irrespective of whether it is a government controlled or not, the president and the chairman of this institution, Mr. Srinivasan, is answerable to this country. That is definite. The type of joke that is going on about this game and the way these guys have spoiled this game, he is answerable to the country. We don't understand why he is silent and not coming out with any of the reports or any of the news or any of the clarifications, so to say.
Well, Hemant, thank you very much. You're the viewer. You're the viewer, Aslam Ghoni. Now, before I go to our next report, one sec. Shailendra Singh joins us. Shailendra.
Can I ask a question?
Shailendra Singh is managing director of Percept, is involved in sports and image management. Yes, Shailendra, what do you make of it?
I just want to ask Mr. Ghoni one question. I mean, Mr. Ghoni.
No, which side are you on, first of all? You think Srinivasan should resign or Srinivasan should stay?
He should have done that yesterday.
He should have done that yesterday.
My question to you, Mr. Ghoni, is just simple, okay? You are now advocating this process that we are in currently, and you're saying the cops are doing their job and let them do it, etc., etc. Are you the same person who you believe that the president of the board should have owned an IPL team? A point. Should his son-in-law be the CEO of that team? Should Dhoni be an employee in an organization?
Yeah.
Isn't this serious conflict of interest? I mean, are you serious? The young people of this nation, 1 billion people's hopes, and let me tell you another thing. These people...
Let him complete, Mr. Ghoni. Let him complete, Mr. Ghoni.
Sir, please, sir, with all due respect...
There has been a case on this.
Sir, you're a politician. Please let the people of India understand they have a voice too. So with all due respect to you, sir, my question to you is, sir, this is serious conflict of interest. A gentleman was holding an honorary position responsible for the biggest sport of this country. For God's sake, playing cricket for this nation is as good as protecting the borderlines and as armed forces do for this nation. This is about serious pride and disrespect for the whole nation. So don't take it so casually and say, let's investigate. The president of the board is responsible, accountable. Tonight, he should have been on TV, not you and me.
Absolutely. The BCCI chief, by virtue of being the managing director of India Cements.
I think all these things can be looked into.
Oh, looked into. We've been hearing that for some time.
These things have been looked into on the criminal side before. Now this can be looked into the criminal side. Because the case is registered. Now this investigation go to any extent.
Well, can any extent? I heard that. Did we see an investigation, Mr. Ghoni, when the role of franchise owners last year? Despite one of the players being caught in the India... Despite... No, if you're not going to let me ask questions, it's not fair.
Whether we trust this investigating agency or not.
We trust the investigating agency. The investigating agency does not. The investigating agency does not need a certificate from the Indian Cricket Board, because the Indian Cricket Board has to answer to the investigating agency.
Can I please?
There's been a role reversal. What is surprising in this entire IPL scandal is how our political class, 1 minute gentlemen, I'm coming to it, to our next report. What is surprising in this entire scandal is how our political class of this country seems almost unwilling to demand accountability. What justifies the inertia of our politicians, as none of them raise the basic, simple, almost obvious question? How can BCCI Chief Srinivasan be allowed directly or indirectly to head a board whose committee is going to investigate this entire matter? Why isn't anybody crying conflict of interest now? Lot of callers into our newsroom. I'm afraid I'm only being able to take a few calls. Let's see who's online next. Gaurav. Where are you calling from, Gaurav? Tripura. Gaurav, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Gaurav. You're watching in Tripura. What would you like to ask, or what is the point you'd like to make?
The point I would like to make is Mr. Ravi Savani, who was earlier head of the anti-corruption unit of ICC, which was investigated in the year 2000, and it hasn't carried a single investigation till 2013, and you are now wanting that man to investigate
well said.
the Indian cricket.
Well said, well said.
So it's just nonsense.
Well said. Why does the... well said, very good. Aslam Ghoni, you know, the world's greatest non-performer, the non-performing asset of the anti-corruption unit of the ICC is the man you trust. Why? What draws you towards him? His incompetence? No, he does his incompetence draw you to him?
In Delhi. I mean, he has not received any...
Arnab, Mr. Arnab Goswami, I think now this part of personal investigation by the BCCI, it loses all relevance now.
I'm glad you're saying that.
The fact that
I'm glad you're finally saying that.
Registered and investigating agencies investigating. Sir. I understand that anybody put as a investigator by the society itself does not hold much.
Okay, gentlemen.
Scenario.
Now you're changing your line.
You know, it doesn't hold
you're changing your line. I'm taking a short break.
Whatever will be decided, as rightly some people have said. Then wait, let us see the...
Well, I'll only say one thing. No, I'll say one thing.
Anything wrong?
I'll say one thing. I'm holding something up. This is what I have in my hand, which I'm not...
Can I just ask one...
No, 1 second. I'm going into a break, but before that, I want to say one thing. On the 23rd of January 2012, at the ICC management meeting, the anti-corruption unit, the ACSU, presented something. Now, this is explosive. I'm not going to show the pictures which are there, which I have inside. This is part of a PowerPoint presentation. Some source gave it to me. But what I can say is that in this presentation, the ACSU listed the names of 13 bookies. We have the names of the bookies. I am asking the ACSU and the ICC tonight, what happened to them? Why did they do nothing? And why should we believe people who have been doing nothing but hiding and hiding for years and years? Time for this to be exposed. I'm back in a couple of minutes.